I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hi. Sorry for the echo. I was just starting my Periscope show. Yes, I know. It was great. Thank you very much for coming in. We will be. Thank you. We will be doing a show tonight from our remote location in a secret place. We won't tell you where, but I'm going to be processing a lot of information, and we're going to try to get back up and running. Last night was a disaster. We had a 12 frame per second run at 640 pixels wide. Now we're at 1280 pixels by 720, 30 frames per second, running on 4 networks. And what a difference it makes to have a thing in my mouth. Thank you. I just had dinner. You got me with my natural day with something in my mouth. That was the buffet that we went to, in which I had a great time with Sarah. The lips are 5 seconds away from the sound. That's video delay due to a VPN use. Oh, it's not much better than last night? Okay, well, I'm going to drop off of, yeah, I think the one I'm going to drop off of is, yeah, Cool Rock Party. We're going to drop out of the Twitch show and see how that affects the signal. Because we remember we are running through a VPN, and there's a lot of interference going on, but we're testing the signal right now. There's nothing wrong with my lip. Thank you. Yeah. The color is yellow and alien. Okay, well, I'm glad you guys worked out the coloring before the show. We did such a good job. Let me see if I can make some adjustments here. How's that, better? Less yellow? Nope. No, we're doing pretty well so far. Is this yellow? Is this better? Because I pulled the yellow down quite a bit. please, Stormy, stop talking about your anger at Abernethy. Yes. No, David, your secret location is terrible.
Just ignore them. They're just trying to get your ire.
Broadcasting, we had great results earlier. What's going on? I can drop out of Periscope.
Just don't ignore them. They're just trying to get you to mess with the things. And you said that you're
No, I mean, just saying, is the signal that bad? I mean, seriously. It can't be that bad. Okay, Dave, what are you going to do about the transvestites being let into kindergartens and first grade classrooms to talk about the cross-dressing lifestyle? Thank you, Scissor Fight. Video is fine. There is a little lag, especially at Vaughn. That's Vaughn's problem. I'm not hiccuping. Audio should be good. Let me make sure the audio is not connected to the... Yeah, I have a way of... There we go. Making sure the audio is not connected to the laptop, so there's no sound from the laptop coming in. Okay, what am I going to do about the... Yeah, that's a serious problem, because I understand there's a lot of people who are hearing about these kids who have to watch transvestites. Now, because the pedophiles actually won a lawsuit in the Supreme Court, under a liberal Supreme Court, they're allowed to go to the children's section of libraries and meet publicly. That let the next step with the transgenders and transvestites in. Thank you, Scissor Fight. Appreciate your wise opinion there. Looks like one of those old Chinese kung fu movies. Really? Is that because the background is a Chinese? It's actually New York's background. But I can do better. We're not stuck to, we have multiple backgrounds here we can go to. Today's Truth Tuesday. Well, I'm sorry for the connection problem, but guys, I can't broadcast from any other method without a VPN, simply because if I had no VPN, Mark, as you know, I can't trust the guy. He's going to, reveal my IP address, and pretty soon the people will be attacking me at the location I'm at. So, yeah, let's not kid ourselves here. Well, let's go to Diego Garcia. That's a better place. We're in the fly here, and we are recording the broadcast. This is a virtual interactive chat at its best, folks. You're watching a show that has been in operation since 2008 with a growing audience, massive audience of people who are enjoying the show daily. And I got to tell you, no matter how hard they try to censor me, I know you people like the show. So you don't listen to the censors. I'm not. I don't know if Diego Garcia is free from Fukushima radiation bengalitis. I don't think anything is free from Fukushima. Now, if you have any serious problems with the video signal, I purposely took Twitch down because I didn't want it to take away. You want me to start Twitch back up again? You wouldn't believe what a problem it is to start Twitch back up. Let me see if I can do it. You tell me if there's any degradation of the signal when I do this. Okay, here we go. Now, if there's a major problem, please tell me. I'm going back on Twitch. I had to surrender one of my networks to get this thing to go. I'm going to go into Twitch and see what's going on. Okay. Here we go. Whoa. Let's see what's going on. Muting that. Okay. The thing about Twitch is we just started getting censored on Twitch, so I'm wondering if we should even bother with it. Capital Gain is not really happy with it. Yeah, screw the sync. That sync is on Mark's problem. It's his HTML5 video always runs late. Okay, let me take a look at how I look. Somebody just gave me, True Blue gave me. What's wrong with that? That looks great. Yeah. I don't see what's wrong with that, True Blue. Yeah, what's wrong with my... A little more red? Okay, let me pull up the little more red. Hang on. This is about the best I can do. If I go off auto, if I don't go to white balance, that's what happens. I've got to do that for auto white balance. Okay, sorry for the delay. Now it looks like jaundice. My lips aren't puffy. That's just an illusion. Yeah. It's still the same. Looks good. Yeah. I don't see what the problem is. No, it looks fine. Thank you. When Rodney comes in here and says it looks fine, thank you, Rodney. Your statements are always qualified, coming from a man who lives in a high-rise condominium with old women. A little more red? Question mark. We have all the time in the world. I got a full 3-hour show ahead, so we can. Thank you. We can spend our time enjoying each other and talking about this disaster of a government, trying to slowly carry ourselves into a war with Iran so that Donald Trump doesn't have to answer questions about his Russian alliances or the fact that he's committed obstruction incessantly since he walked into the office. It feels like 2 have already passed. Well, I started a pre-show half an hour before I'm a recorded broadcast, but I got to tell you, this is a oh, let me tell you, I went to one of the most popular buffets in the country. I won't tell you which one. But it was great. And Sarah had the best New York steak ever. And I had the best pot roast ever. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you the name, Tom. I'm not going to confirm or deny that that's what's happening. It could be a country buffet. It could be Ryan's buffet, which still is open. Hometown buffet is part of the essential group. Hometown buffet is good. All of this stuff is good. So I think when you come to grips with the fact that I went to one of the finest buffets in the country, then you realize it was the Wynn Hotel in Vegas. The jig is up. You caught me. Okay, thank you. It's the best deal for the best quality. It has all the quality food that Caesars has, but half the price. So you found me out. There you go. I understand that Mark has a suite at the Wynn Hotel. Yeah, it was all you can eat. I don't go to any place that I can't eat to my heart's desire. I live in the world of plenty, so at least I want to have plenty of food to eat. Some people don't have any food who are watching the show on UHF right now and wonder what kind of rice they have in the back of their bag that they could cook tonight. I'm in top secret land. If I revealed my location, I wouldn't have to wear this bulletproof shirt, you know. As you can see, it took some ballistic hits during the trials, and I said, no, I'm not going to throw this shirt away. Tested it out, worked great. Yeah, it handled 9mm. Yeah. Okay, so the real question is, why did Donald Trump think that Iran is doing something wrong, and is he going to turn on Japan and actually go against the treaty that we forged after the war? I can't even believe I'm having a problem talking about this. Yeah. We have a poor quality of your mission. Lines parallel Alaska. What's wrong? My Vaughn show is coming in great. I've got 1280 by 720, 30 frames per second. We're running through a VPN. We've got 4 networks broadcasting. Let me see how many people at Cool Rock, because if I can't get Cool Rock to talk, we're going to just drop out of that. Yeah, we've only got 2 people at Cool Rock Party.
Tell people talk if you want them to see.
Well, if you Cool Rock Party, if you wanted me to stay, I need more than 2 people in there. Otherwise, we're going to drop out of that feed. I don't want to sacrifice my UHF viewers. Yeah, well, for some reason, Aquamex is not getting a good capture of the Vaughn signal. It should be good. Thank you. Yeah. How can you be running a VPN and broadcast on Vaughn Live? That's exactly the point. It's difficult. iLips and audio will be off. That's part of the deal. You can watch the recorded broadcast. We'll be in total sync when you upload it off YouTube tonight. Believe. Print screen. I believe. What do you got? You have believe in yourself, especially when no one else will. Sasquatch. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Let's take a look at Sasquatch and a believe poster. Now, many people don't realize Sasquatch may very well have existed, or may even exist to this day, you know. Yeah, let's make this the Bigfoot show. You can believe. There you go, see? Believe in yourself, especially when no one else will. Sasquatch. Nice. That's impressive. Well, thanks for the tip. Yeah, it's always good to see people coming into the show. I don't know who that boy is. Thank you. You're laughing at UHF? Look, if we're having a problem with the signal, I'm going to drop off Twitch. This is ridiculous. Okay, we're taking off Twitch. Okay, Twitch is off. Let's see how many people we have at Periscope, and I'll drop Periscope. We got 4 people. That's good. Okay, we'll stay at Periscope. Thank you guys for coming in. Say something. For 3 people at Periscope. Okay, now how's the signal? Any better? We're not sure. UHF may be jammed, Aquamex. The show has gone viral, and you know that the military has the ability to jam the signal on UHF. They have done it before. They own the UHF waves, but they only dominate through extra voltage. It's got to improve here. So far it is. Okay. Does your hotel have a waste management logo on it? No. It don't have no waste management coming in the motel here. A lot of people are having problems with, Mr. Trump because, as you know, Frank Cali wasn't exactly pleased with Mr. Trump when, he said goodbye to the world that we live in, you know. We know that UHF only broadcasts 40 miles. Why do you think there's so many people rebroadcasting us? We have an upper limit on HD of 200 miles. I don't know anything about how they do it, but they do it. And I want to thank those people who are watching commercials in favor of me. Because as you know, there are people who can pay financially to support me and do a commercial independent of me. And I don't know about it. It's okay. I don't even have to report that information because I have no idea what's going on with that. But somebody's doing a commercial in favor of me right now, and I really want to say thank you for that. Yeah, I don't know where it is, but they're running a commercial in favor of me. So this is a kind of a growing thing where people are saying, wow, we really need a third party, and this guy's getting completely censored by the mainstream media, which is controlled by a select group of elitists, New World Order elitists. And that's something that's been going on for some time. And if you guys have the wherewithal, to repeat the signal on UHF or to run commercials without my knowledge, I think that's great. But as you know, we are facing a huge task to bypass the censorship that these people have imposed upon us and the millions of dollars that have been handed to Mark just to bribe people to censor me. Now, if that's true, that allegation is true, you can only imagine how seriously worried they are that this party is going to take off and do really, really well. And remember, my ideas are being used by Donald Trump improperly. My biggest idea, as you know, was to not sign the treaty with the most relevant idea, I should say, to the current time is not sign the treaty with Iran, but make sure that we did not impose extreme economic sanctions. I was only going to impose limited economic sanctions, and it wasn't on communication. And the Huawei CFO, Meng, would not have been charged with any crimes had Donald just listened to my advice. Now he has doubled down on the Iran situation. In fact, he's tripled down on the Iran situation, and he's pushed it to the brink of war, which, as you know, is absurd and ridiculous, and he's obviously using this as a diversion tactic. So we have a big problem. We have a person who thinks he can control his own safety as a president from all the many different things that are popping up about his Russian collusion issues by simply creating a diversion like starting a war with Iran. Can you imagine? We're still at a war in Iraq, fighting ISIS forces. We're still at a war in Afghanistan, fighting the Taliban. I mean, we haven't finished these wars. How can we start another one? So it is 6 to 9 now. No video show that I plan on because I want to enjoy my evenings right now. But I will be in chat. I might just run videos. You never know. I haven't decided yet, but we're doing 6 to 9. Yeah. I'd like to do videos, but I don't want to, we have a pretty good upload speed right now. We've got 17 megabytes per second out of a VPN, which probably slows it to about 10 megabytes per second, which is not bad. Okay, Scissor Fight has a link. Ah, look at this. This is good. I tend to believe that the reason why Trump is starting a problem with Iran is because he wants the prices of oil to go up because he's working for the Russians. The Russians need higher prices of oil, as you know. That's their big game. They have a lot invested in Russian oil and they want to make more money, so they're trying to angle and control Prince MBS, Mohammed bin Salman. They control Donald Trump. But here we had a great negotiation, made a great big weapon deal. You know that Trump sent him nukes, right? And look at all the dead babies. Our parents were killed by those weapons and we are dying of hunger. There you go. What a powerful meme. Look at that. Boy, that says it all, Scissor Fight. Wow. Thank you. Look at that. And all these children died because their parents were killed by these weapons of mass destruction. And we have a leader that simply wants to fuel the military-industrial complex to the tune of $750 billion per year. Now I'm proposing $500 billion max. Yeah. And I want to take a lot of that savings and pay back some of our debt and also open up a possibility of paying people $500 a month basic income. All right. NBC Nightly News. Well, Tom Brokaw. E-cigarette explosion blamed for the Texas man's death. So apparently a guy, according to this link here, a guy blew himself up with an e-cigarette. Really? Let's take a look.
The video's viral, capturing the very real danger of e-cigarettes. Explosions and malfunctions leading to serious injuries. And tonight, a Texas man's death. 24-year-old William Eric Brown was sitting in his car when his e-cig exploded and cut a major artery in his neck, according to the medical examiner's report. His death, now the second in the U.S., blamed on e-cigs. While fatal e-cig incidents are rare, explosions are not. In 2 years, U.S. hospitals reported 2,035.
No kidding. Injuries. Okay. We've got a plow picture here that's sent to us earlier. Mother Nature had a chuckle when our Tonasket maintenance crew had to plow up Wakanda today, where a couple of inches of wintry mix fell from the summer sky. Road is now bare and wet thanks to our maintenance crew for getting it cleaned up. So we've got the winter in June 25th in Washington. WisDOT's plowing the roads June 25th in Washington. You know something weird is going on right here in River City. Oh man, unbelievable. Thank you guys for coming in and sharing this information. So yeah, e-cigarettes are a huge problem when they malfunction. The batteries tend to blow up. Lithium-ion batteries are not safe. And I've been the one saying that Elon Musk has been trying to develop these things rapidly without any serious concern about the potential blow-ups. Now these are liquid batteries, not like nickel cadmium or nickel metal hydride batteries. And you got to wonder, do they really know what they're doing? All batteries are not equal either. Dave, are you going to get a group picture with Scissor Fight like you did with Hoppy? No, Scissor Fight and I probably won't meet until I hire him for whatever job he chooses when I become president, because he's been such a big part of our show. Yeah, and it's really up to people who want to meet me. I was in his area last year, and he just was busy, and I didn't give him advance warning, so you never know. We might meet, you never know. I don't care. I want anonymity for all of you. I don't want you to feel like you're, forced to meet me. That's something that I think you have to understand. The internet has this anonymity going for it. We can work it in either direction. The people that attack us think they're anonymous. Being we're supporters, some of you want to just support a third party by being in our show and watching us and not have to worry about your name going into some registry. That's understandable. So I'm completely, you're out? Okay. You still, yeah? You want to cut the lawn? Yeah. We're going to be growing hemp on the White House lawn. Hemp lawn will be, and we'll give you a biofuel hempoline vehicle to do the hemp harvesting. I want hemp on a lot of the lawns, and I want an organic garden. Yeah. Is that too much to ask? An organic garden for people? Yeah. Trump is starting a war with Iran solely for that reason. Dave, you know that the BB wanted Iran confronted years ago for their nuke threat. I don't believe it is just a nuke threat. No, that's the upfront discussion. Yeah, the nuke threat was out there when Barack Obama and John Kerry were actually authorizing a nuclear weapon for Iran. And in the treaty that Barack Obama and John Kerry signed, they're allowed to have one nuclear weapon. I never approved of that. I never wanted that. I was against it. Just like Trump. That's why I said we shouldn't sign the treaty, but I also said don't impose economic sanctions, because remember, the Iranian people want to win. They don't want to lose. They want to win-win. They don't want, you can't negotiate with an Iranian and not give them a way to win. You have to give them a way to win. And the best type of compromise is to give them a sense that they have a win when we have a win too. I didn't approve of it back when Obama and Kerry signed it, and I said not to sign the treaty, and Barack Obama obviously signed it. Then I said Donald Trump shouldn't sign it. He didn't sign it. But I also said don't impose economic sanctions except for sanctions on things like paper that would be ideal for currency, or possibly ink, which would be ideal for making counterfeit currency, which they did indeed use in making Yemenis banknotes or money notes that they used to finance Hezbollah and Hamas. And this is the kind of maneuver that the Iranians are typical of, where they print up counterfeit money and sell it in the open market to finance their hidden weapons exchange with these secret terrorist organizations. So we can't allow that. But those are the only economic sanctions I proposed. Now Netanyahu is certainly an ally, and we want to work, to protect Israel. But again, Israel is taking some pretty bold moves by attacking Syria in their areas. They've been doing this extensively to knock out any nuclear enrichment that Bashar al-Assad has done. And I am not on an island, no. I'm here with the background of the Pacific Ocean behind me. Thank you. Some of you are getting the broadcast a little bit late. That's okay. Mark is running HTML5, which runs at a separate speed than my video signal. So my audio may be coming in ahead of my mouth. Bear in mind, that's all I can do. We have to run through a VPN in order to do our show. Otherwise, we have people who will virtually call up wherever we are and swat us. So whatever you experience in delay is solely due to Mark's delayed server, nothing to do with our uplink. Our uplink is getting at least 10 megabytes a second off of a VPN out of Singapore. Pirate Salty Dog, you're welcome to stay here, but foreigners are allowed to come into our show and say whatever they want. Yeah. Okay. Tom saw something of a commercial on our show. I don't know. I'll take a look at that a little bit later, Tom, if you don't mind. Thank you for giving me a heads up about that. Thank you. No, we're completely stealth. I travel in an unmarked Brinks truck wherever I go. It looks like a typical van. We've turned it into something pretty amazing. Yeah, you'd never know it was completely hidden and stealth. Oh, that's good coffee. Sanctions do nothing when Russia is involved with Iran. Exactly. And I agree with you, 848. I agree. I'm not a big sanctions guy. That's why I said this is kind of pushing us to the limit with Iran. And Trump has already tripled down on this thing. He's actually making it more and more difficult as he locks in on his viewpoint. You know, I don't talk about my religious views or spiritual views here. No, the Honda Insights are officially collector's items. Sarah uses hers. I mothball mine strictly to collect. I run it, you know, locally just to keep the battery up. But I'm keeping the miles down. It's up to 225,000, so I don't need to drive it anymore. But Sarah's car, she uses on a regular basis and loves it. I didn't notice Bitcoin went over 11,000. You guys are cleaning up again on Bitcoin. Wow. Well, you know, greed is something I've never got involved in, and money mongering is not something I ever really paid attention to. So if you guys want to be greedy money mongers, that's your choice. You know, I'm not free will and all that. I just am not materialistic. So I'm not looking to profit, even though I obviously, you know, would profit greatly if I sold some of my fortunes. My many fortunes. Well, I'll be watching it, Tom, later in the privacy of our boudoir here. But thanks for sending it to us, Tom. So what's going on really is Trump is engaged in a battle of wits with unarmed people himself. He doesn't have the wits or the capability to play hardball with Iran. So he's going to instead of negotiating, he's going to end up resorting to force. And that puts us closer to the brink of World War III. And I believe that Donald Trump is the kind of guy that believes in his mind that we can somehow buffalo Iran into doing what we want. Now, what he's not in any way factoring in is the fact that their army and their navy is 4 times greater than the size of Iraq's, for one. And they have weapons like kinetic weapons that have not even been tested in the field against the U.S. And the U.S. has kinetic weapons too. And it would be an absolute disastrous conventional war. And if they have indeed a nuclear option, you know where they're going to fire it, probably directly at Israel. And that would trigger Israel to launch nuclear weapons back at Iran. I mean, it's like immediate, the Samson option then goes into play, and then we're looking at a global conflagration of nuclear weapons. So Donald Trump being our president is a bad thing. He should have been impeached by now. I would have impeached him if I were a leader in the Democratic Party. We would have had enough things in the lineup to just go boom, 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 you're out. And we would have convinced the Republicans that you're really backing pretty much a loser in the long run, because he's taking their party down. He doesn't have the ability to look into a problem in a deep way and see the big picture. He's strictly a guttural player who wants to shoot by the waist and wonder where he's going to hit it later. We'll be going on we're on a 2-month trip, so we're working on the best signals we can get for our daily show. And we know how important it is to you to do the show. But there's no way we can predict whether we're going to have a good signal or not per se. But I always have backup options like Starbucks. Now tonight I actually went to a Starbucks within a mile of where I am. And I found that they had a signal, but they didn't guarantee it was going to be on past 8:30. So I was like, yeah, Sarah gets a 2-month vacation. So being I'm retired, I can go with her. She's really amazing that way. All I can tell you is the fact that the Democrats are so weak that they can't impeach him shows us the weakness of the two-party system and how it's become almost useless for our country if we plan on surviving this upcoming crisis, which will be looming very soon. We're not within a mile of Starbucks, no. There's Starbucks in every city in America, Stormy. Yeah, any city in America has a mile away. Yeah, that pinpoints it. I did pack a couple of shirts, but no suits, because I really don't plan on wearing a suit this summer. It's going to be hot everywhere. We're entering global climate change heat wave situation, so it's not going to be pretty. No. I haven't checked it out, Tom. It's the summer of David, yeah. And we will be getting a Wi-Fi hotspot when we get to our destination, which may have proprietary systems. And we found out that they have proprietary systems where we're going, and that's going to be difficult. Usually Verizon will work anywhere with a 3G network, but we really can't broadcast on Verizon at 3G. It just doesn't have enough speed. It would be more like last night. And by the way, if you want to see last night's video, we have a 30-minute sample of last night uploaded to my David Sponheim account. I'll give you the link. Yeah, I just uploaded it last night. Amber's doing great. I have never seen a cat travel better than she does. She is phenomenal. I mean, best cat I've ever had. I've had 3 cats in my life, and they were great cats, believe me, but Amber is the best, by far. I don't have any way of telling you where I'm located, you know. This is a beach out in the Pacific Ocean here. I can't put ATP on hold for 2 months. It's not possible. If you understood the censorship that's coming down on us daily, you would understand why I can't stop the show. We will be taking more breaks, like we'll probably drop off our Saturday signal if we can. But we're going to try to, you know, shoot. Once I get the Wi-Fi hotspot, we can do a daily show. Because I like the show. But the reality is I have to do the show because the nature of our show is that the people that come into our show right now at Vaughn are the ones that are allowed to come in by Mark. Your IPs are cleared for arrival into the show. There's countless people all around the world trying to get into our show right now, trying to hit the chat button, and they get no service. Show's down. Capacity server. We're seeing this constantly. So when we think about the danger of stopping the show, we can't stop being relevant to what's happening today. I track the news and give you commentary daily. The news is a living entity, especially with Donald Trump at the helm of this lost, rudderless ship of America. We have a guy who doesn't know what he's doing leading the country. I have to do a broadcast. How can I not? That's my point. Well, hosted for free means they're going to have the ability to censor us. But bear in mind, our principal plan was to do free broadcasting in order to reach as many people as we could without having to pay for the communication. That's been the basis of the foundation of what we've been doing all along, and it's the reason why our party will succeed and others will fail. Mark isn't smart at all. In fact, he's taking money in order to censor me, which is illegal. He is going to face civil or criminal penalties eventually. It's just a question of how much and how many and when. Hey, Frog Dog, so your cat's still alive, but he's really heavy, right? He's like 30 pounds, and he's 13 years old, approximately, say 12 years old. Well, if you put your cat on a diet and got him CBD oil, and I know you're giving him CBD oil, I think your cat might just do okay. But you can't keep feeding him like you do. Yeah, the vet said lose 10 pounds immediately. Exactly. And you know, you love your cat, and you don't want him to be sickly, so you got to put him on a diet and get him to, whenever he's feeling hungry, get one of those laser lights and kind of play with them they love laser lights. Just don't shine it in your eyes or the cat's eyes, or you'll burn its retina. But no, you could get that cat to move around instead of, you know, eating. Because he'll be whining, wanting to eat, and then he'll see the laser light and he'll go, oh, okay. Seriously. Yeah, Chet's going to check it out. So is Tom. But I can't believe you guys think you're okay here. But, you know, Mark let you guys in here, even though you were T. Rucker cronies for years. And I'm not going to kick you out because I'm going to take as many people as I can as viewers, as you know. Because obviously Mark's keeping just a few people in here that he wants. So even if it's former T. Rucker trolls, I guess I'll have to take it. No, you can stay in Vaughn. I mean, Vaughn and iVlog are both equally censoring me. You know, it's not a big deal. I think Mark paid iVlog some money, but we're up to 27 chatters and viewers at iVlog, so we're doing pretty dang well. Thank you guys at iVlog. Yeah, I'm impressed. Twitch is obviously censoring me now. We were up to 11 people, 12 people 2 days ago before we left. Then it went down to 2. That's an anomaly. We've got 4 people at Periscope, and I know Periscope, Twitter, is censoring me, and they're also shadow banning me. Isn't this sad that I've got to talk about this in a country that's supposed to be free and democratic? Don't you see the irony in this whole thing? All right. I just think we have to start looking at the options of what we're going to do for 2020, because obviously the Republicans are going to sit there and stick with Trump because they can stack the Supreme Court with Republicans and force your daughters to have babies from their rapists. That's going to happen. And the Republicans, they're taking advantage of this by forcing Republicans, or forcing staunch conservative fascists like Gorsuch into the Supreme Court, and Brett Kavanaugh, the alleged rapist and drunk. And these are the kind of people that would gladly, of course, force your daughter to have a baby from a rapist. We have a voluminous amount of ancillary proof. In order to get absolute proof, I need to subpoena Mark for all of his financial records, but I'm not planning on doing that. All right. You got a video here? Okay, United. I'll check it out. Andrew just said, David, this is a high quality production for being on the road. Good job. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah. It's not just here, Daryl. We have worldwide viewership that is telling family members in America about us. And that's a good thing. The only way we're able to communicate now, apart from the New World Order controlling everything that goes on in the media, is through our mouth. Word of mouth is the best way of communicating. Yeah, I did have you fooled, didn't I? Yeah, isn't that amazing? We're drawing off of a computer that's pretty powerful, a gaming computer, and we took it on the road. I can't get proof, 8889. You have to go with my gut here, because let me tell you the proof that I have. I've had the same number of subscribers on YouTube for the past 8 years, whereas Young Turks acquired 2 million. And I've had more broadcasting hours than they have, reaching more people. I have the same number. Oh, it is proof. It's an anomaly. It is proof. And I can tell you I've got the same followers on Twitter for the past 8 years as well, when everyone has been acquiring many more from all of this contact. We had 15,000 impressions 6 weeks ago when we did our show, topical show every week. And 15,000 impressions and not one follower on Twitter. That's not normal. Come on. I never blocked you, Chet. Yeah. Mark is offering a 1995 Chevy Impala to anyone who develop a sensor to disrupt our show. I'll take a look at that. You're just making that up. You're pretty funny, man. Okay, the Young Turks, not the Young Twerps. The Young Turks, the guy who runs that show is actually the person behind the Social Justice Democrats, the man behind Beto O'Rourke and Ocasio-Cortez. That's the guy. You know, the Greek-looking guy, the Young Turks. He's working with a top technologist who worked for Bernie Sanders' campaign, and they're trying to literally move the Democratic Party toward the communist side. Now, I'm a centrist, as you know, and I appeal to many people because I don't openly support LGBTQ, but I don't want to discriminate either. I'm not in favor of cap and trade legislation where you get taxed more. I want to innovate and fix the air quality, not dump chemicals in it. And I do address chemtrails, whereas the Democrats and Republicans do not. I also address GMOs, the dangers of GMOs and the dangers of over-vaccinating children. The Democrats, Republicans won't go that far. So there are a lot of reasons why a centrist party is growing in numbers. Plus, we support your right to bear arms, whereas Trump is equivocating and talking about possibly taking your guns away. First we'll take their guns, then we'll do the due process, regarding people with PTSD. So that's a big problem. Yeah, and the social liberals are trying to take over the Democratic Party. I was a Democrat for 30 years, but I'm more of a blue dog Democrat, fiscal conservative Democrat. I'm building my own party because they just don't want to, they want to keep falling into la-la land and being overly liberal. I'm also pro-choice, but I want to make certain concessions. I would love to stop baby body parts being sold at Planned Parenthood. I'd stop federal funding to Planned Parenthood except for contraception, and required abortions when people are raped. Now, obviously, if a woman doesn't want to abort and she's been raped and she wants to carry her rapist baby, I'm not going to say no to that. I want women to carry their baby full term. I do. But I don't want to tell a woman she has to do that. Not only will I match the Andrew Yang's $1,000 a month allowance, I'll top it by $10. We'll give you $1,010 a month, because he stole my original $500 a month idea. Actually, it was $400 initially. But $500 a month is the standing order I will offer as president to every U.S. citizen who's not collecting Social Security or disability right now. Andrew Yang wants to offer it to everybody, and frankly, that would cost us $3 trillion a year, which would bankrupt our country beyond belief. But I'm more than willing to pull that from the military budget to finance and back $1,010 per month if Andrew Yang wins the Democratic nomination. But as you know, Joe Biden is leading in the race significantly, and he looks like the contender the Democrats are going to put up. So you've got Joe Biden, an avid, open Zionist who has perverted tendencies, running against Donald Trump, an active and open Zionist who has perverted tendencies. That's your choice. It's actually worse than Hillary versus Donald this time around. We're going to mute what you said, and every time you bring up a component, or any type of an opponent in our show, you got to understand I'm being hosed by people who troll me every night, and you're one of them. So if you come in here and promote an opponent after I've told you time and time again, I'm going to permaban you. You can't do that. You know that Abraham Lincoln wanted to send black people back to Liberia, and you realize that he was in favor of slavery. Abraham Lincoln was. We are recording our travel show right now. Yeah, this is a record. We're recording it right now. I'll be uploading it to YouTube. But as you know, I was gang stalked on YouTube, and YouTube won't even listen to my disputes. So, no, Tom, we're not going to unban all for a while because of the behavior of certain people that keep supporting my opponents. I can't possibly let people in at this point who want to continue to attack our show. We need to define who we are and what we're going for 2020. Gang stalking is serious. I was gang stalked on YouTube. They pulled our live show down, claiming what they did was they called up and they'd use the N-word in our live show, and then they claimed that I had the N-word in my live show, therefore they pulled the live show. You see what they did? And I couldn't pull the live show N-word out because they called up during that, or they sent a link saying that. And I don't support racism here. Well, I do a show on vacation because it's a 3-hour show. It's not a 9-hour show like I normally do, Captain Howdy. This is Diego Garcia, and I want to bring up the truth about what happened with the MH370 flight and how it crashed. And it didn't crash. Actually, it landed in Diego Garcia right off the coast here. There's a landing pad for MH370, which, yeah, and what we're being led to believe is that the pilot crashed it because he just had a depressed life, and you know, the same reason they came up with the guy who crashed the plane into the Alps a few years ago, claiming he was depressed and the captain was locked out of the cockpit. Well, as you know, that was a big fake complete fake. There was no audio recording of the captain being locked out of the cockpit. 150 people died in the Alps that day. I don't know what you're saying. I'm using a green screen, if that's what you're asking me. Yeah. But if you're one of those people that wonder about the Diego Garcia situation, and you're probably wondering, how in the heck did they land a plane, MH370, in Diego Garcia? And how do you know that they landed it in Diego Garcia? Well, I'll tell you all about it. One of the reasons why we're not getting a lot of information about it is because the entire flight had 4 co-owners of a very important patent used in drone technology. Thanks, Sammy. I'm pretty sure they're getting funding from some other source besides Amanda. Yeah. No, they're not privately held. That's not true. No, not true. All broadcast venues are under the control of the FCC. Yeah. Okay, I do understand it, and what you're saying is irrelevant here. No, because the FCC is not properly doing their job, and because they haven't been acting in good faith, they will be reprimanded by me when I become president. I'm going to be reinstating the fairness doctrine, and in so doing, thank you. I will retroactively go after all the networks that have done this, and we will actually terminate their license to broadcast if they don't offer solutions to the problems that they've already engaged in. If they don't show any remorse, we'll prosecute them, and it'll be either a civil or a criminal penalty. The fairness doctrine could easily be revived at any second of the day. I'm amazed Donald Trump hasn't done it with all the attacks he's had from the media. Apparently his lawyers are asleep at the switch. Okay, well, this story about the Rothschilds is very important because they have the ability to create this technology now without other people commenting about it or contending anything they do. So, he was kicked because he doesn't have any relevant points to what I'm saying. Yes. I'm talking about the requirement of all networks to abide by the utility requirements of the FCC. And right now the FCC under Ajit Pai is not doing his job. I'll be prosecuting Ajit Pai for working clandestinely with Sinclair Communications. I have valid information to conclude that Ajit Pai is working for Sinclair Communications, the largest communications system in the world, or at least in the Western Hemisphere. And they're somehow working to control him. I have enough ancillary evidence to follow up on that. We're going to remove you from the show too. Thank you. Bye. We're here to talk about the future of our country, not how I'm going to debate somebody in an upcoming debate, okay? So you both have an hour to think about your stupidity in this show. Thank you. Tom, David, did you know that the Rothschilds have 2 first growth wine orchards? Yes, they have invested heavily in Sonoma County and as well as in France Chateau. Yes. So how do we know that the MH370 landed in Diego Garcia? Well, for one, a very brave man, a Marine, concealed a flip phone in his rectum, and when he was parked on the ground and all their cell phones were taken away, and these people were, God knows what happened to them, they probably all died. There was an actual text message from a flip phone from this proud Marine. No. I told you I cannot stop broadcasting. We don't have that luxury. He had a flip phone up his butt, and he managed to pull it out and make a text message before he was killed. In it, he said he was being held captive, and the confirmation. I have 2 points of entry here I want to bring to the truth, and that is, the government said there were no cell phone towers on Diego Garcia. Wrong. There were 3 cell phone towers on Diego Garcia. So they tried to discredit the story then. They didn't do it. This was written into the mechanical code of the text message as it was loaded into an open public server. There's no way they could have replicated that from any other location. No way at all. It had to have come from someplace on Diego Garcia. That being the case, along with the fact that all those cell phones that were supposedly underwater with the beacon not being able to deliver a signal, the emergency beacon was not able to deliver a signal, somehow all those cell phones pinged for well over 10 hours after the disappearance of the plane. They were still pinging. So the statement that they're running right now is BS, that plane crashed in the water and sunk, and that the pilot somehow was depressed. The same excuse they gave for the other plane flight, that they cannot show proof of an audio clip of a pilot being locked out of a cockpit as it landed in the Alps, not too far away in time from that crash. So we're dealing with a very, very serious issue, and I think all of us need to look at this as this is a real issue. Whenever they hide it this big, these people died, okay? They all died. They want it to go away. No, I was holding my hand on the table and I was touching the board. Let me pull my hands off the table, and now there's no jigging. Why did you have to refresh, Daryl? Yeah, don't drink wine if you don't have to. People don't realize that in 2 weeks of drinking, you're going to become an alcoholic. A lot of young people go to college and they just party for a couple weeks. They think, oh, no big deal. I knew a guy that partied for a couple weeks when he was in college, and he just kept partying. And every night he'd pour himself, a glass of Coke and rum and another glass, then another glass, and then another glass. Until finally, 17 years later, he was dying of liver cancer and cirrhosis of the liver. So, no, the iVlog issue of my face not matching my voice is an archive. It's a remnant of the fact that I have to broadcast through Singapore out of a VPN server. Okay? It may be a trouble for you to watch, but how do you think I would feel if I was swatted at my location? I don't want to be in any way jeopardize my location by putting anything out other than through a VPN out of Singapore. According to the freelance journalist Jim Stone, one of the American passengers, Philip Wood, a technical storage executive at IBM who was aboard the now missing Malaysian Airlines flight, keistered his iPhone 5 in his anus after the... Yes. Thank you. His name was Philip Wood. Very good. Good work. Thank you. Amazingly, Stone claimed that the metadata within the phone photo yields evidence confirming 100% that Philip Wood sent the photo. Thank you. Along with a brief voice-activated text. Correct. And he was right away. So Sammy Davis just confirmed our whole story here. Thank you very much, Sammy Davis. And thanks, everybody, for talking about this issue. I'm not going to let it go because we're dealing with the same kind of people, the Rothschilds and many other wealthy families that think they can control the world. Now, I don't know about you, but I was born in America with the presumption that I was living in a representative democracy, not in something that was controlled by the Rothschilds. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that this country can get honesty back into government. We've got a very bad case of corruption right now in both parties, and I think you all know that. I'm sorry for the annoyance, Gnome, at iVlog, but we're lucky to even have a broadcast. Last night was horrible. I had 12 frames per second. If you want to see the show from last night, you can certainly look at it. It's hilarious. I put 30 minutes of 12 frames per second for you to look at. the bottom line is Diego Garcia is located right between Ascension Island and Eastern Island and 3 other oceans. So it's a key place that would have been a landing point and within the distance of MH370 when it landed. Okay, Captain Howdy's feeling suicidal. Seriously, the meds are not working. Uh-oh. Well, may I recommend something herbal? St. John's wort, and I'm not making medical advice here. I'm just telling you that St. John's wort has been known, bless you, it has been known to have a beneficial effect 30 days past the initial use. Yeah, that's what I've been told. You're welcome. Thank you, True Blue. I got a great speed here. We actually went to the front desk of our hotel and asked them, do you have a good server? Do you have a good hotspot? And he said, the guy said, yeah, I'm a geek. I have the best stuff here. And he was telling me how he was able to upload. He said he was able to do modeling. And I looked at him, I'm going, modeling? You don't look like a model. You kind of look like a geek. And I realized it was 3D modeling he was talking about. Apparently he does 3D modeling off of the same connection when he was at work. So I was quite amazed, yeah. So he's a desktop geek working on the side at a hotel, and he nailed it. He said, yeah, I got a perfect room for you. It's near the transmitter, so yeah, we lucked out. But we had to after last night. It was a disaster. But there are limitations, like the table shakes, you know, like when I go like that, my head bounces. No, my computer's not compromised. Everything's good. We keep a really good stealth profile online. There's no way it could be compromised. And again, I have to run through a VPN. If somebody were to backtrace our signal from any one of the networks, like Bond, they would get a VPN in Singapore. They wouldn't be able to see where we're broadcasting from, which is a really good feature. Well, I'm sorry you're feeling bad. The pharmacist said no to St. John's wort due to your thyroid medication. Well, I'd ask the doctor. Yeah. I'm sorry you're feeling bad, Captain Howdy. You know, you've been through a lot. You have to always realize that nobody's perfect. Don't be so hard on yourself. Those are things you need to tell yourself. You know, Stormy Daniels asked, do you believe in aliens? The answer is, I do believe that there is life outside this planet. I just don't believe it's the form that we think. It may even be interdimensional. I'm open to the idea that aliens do exist. Absolutely. I'm even willing to commit to the SETI project, the C-SETI project, full disclosure. As president, I will certainly do my best to verify, but again, if I can't touch an alien, you could replicate an alien with three-dimensional technology. You could see all kinds of things. I'm not a doctor, so I can't prescribe medication, but I can tell you that some people with depression issues have had a beneficial effect from St. John's wort over time. It takes like 30 days. But I don't know if there's a contraindication with a hyperthyroid or a hypothyroid system, so talk to your doctor. Yeah. But you need to also realize that you can't keep blaming yourself for everything. Always lighten up, you know, get that monkey off your back. We have our HD camera from our house. We travel with us, so I brought a better camera tonight. And there's Tom, he gave you the National Suicide Hotline. There you go. Yeah, Prilosec is the thing for acid indigestion, not Prozac, which is made out of fluoride. Yeah, we're traveling and we're using our laptop, which is kind of cool. And we finally got a laptop that runs efficiently and doesn't really have a lot of table space and can be carried on board, you know, a plane or wherever we go. Not that I fly, because, you know, I avoid flying. It's the garden of your mind.
Writing's not.
Oh yeah, the digital Garden of Your Mind segment with a commercial. Thanks. You know, I don't do a lot of weight training anymore after I gave up bodybuilding. So I'm focused more on swimming. So we'll use some of the spa and I don't think we're going to go to the weight room, not after the workout we had today.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, but spa and swimming That's the way to go. Oh, now Hogslammer said, Dave, my back is all snapped up. What do you mean all snapped up? That means you're better or worse? You know, I never did publish any of my bodybuilding pictures in the early days when I was at World's Gym, and showering with Joe Gold was kind of a weird experience. Yeah, I joined the World's Gym, which is Joe Gold's first excursion into building a new gym after he sold Gold's Gym for millions of dollars. And now it's, you know, and then I'm in the shower, you know, and Joe Gold comes in there, you know. It's like, so here I am showering with Joe Gold, and it just was kind of weird. No, he didn't. No, he was. We're both heterosexual. Yeah. He died, by the way. Yeah, I met a lot of bodybuilders. Franco Colombo, Frank Zane, all these people. I would have met Arnold, but I knew his bodybuilder trainer pretty well. No, Joe Gold was a great guy. He really, I mean, these people were salt of the earth kind of people that started the early Venice bodybuilding thing. I joined World's Gym in '78, and I ended my time with World's Gym in '79. Yeah, I couldn't commit to bodybuilding. It was just too much. You got a perverted celebrity? Oh, really? Okay, there's a rape accuser of Donald Trump out there. CNN cuts to an ad break after Trump's sex assault accuser E. Jean Carroll calls rape sexy. Okay, I think anybody who says that is not worthy of even talking about. Yeah. No, see, that's the thing. Anybody who's seriously into bodybuilding knows that you're going to get hemorrhoids, and I don't. Lot of muscle tissue, and it has to get a little blood. The fat, it feels of the muscle tissue disappears. Okay, we're got a video frozen, one channel. Are you the only person who has a video frozen? Because this could be Mark censoring me. Let me see if I'm getting dropped. Yes, I'm getting drop frames on Mark's shot. Yeah, I got no drop frames on anybody else but Mark's. Isn't that special? You're freezing? Okay. We're going to drop off our Periscope chat. You guys who are talking to us, take a look at Periscope. We got 2 viewers. If you want to watch us, you can watch us over at, at iVlog. If you want to watch us, go to coolrock.com. Anyway, I hope you understand that if these people are this powerful that they can make a plane disappear, a Boeing 777, they can take anybody out. And in case you didn't know, they have the ability to suspend a flight midair. Our government does. Yeah, I hope this will help to go off Periscope. Okay. How about now? Okay. Okay, so far so good? Good. Right on. Yeah, so Arnold, is bodybuilder. He worked out all the time. Yeah. And it creates it's hard on the heart, so they had to have heart surgery. Yeah. He's doing good now, but Because I always travel with a dress shirt at the beach. Would you like me to go surfing in the back with my dress shirt on? Because I do a little body surfing. I'm working out right now. Yeah. I'm trying to lose 10 to 15 pounds this summer. I am. Yeah, I told you I was working out on the road. Yeah. Hogslammer says, I love bodybuilding. Yeah. I know you do, Hogslammer. Just your back I worry about, you know. You know, anytime you throw out that lumbar, or no, you got spinal bifida, right? No, spondylosis. I have a spondylosis. Slightly different. Yes, I'm doing a full body metro thing where I'm going to shave all my body hair. Sure. Yeah, you have spondylosis. I have spondylosis. Yeah. It's a new disease that I just created. It's a type of, it's a lower lumbar thing. It's near the neural plexus. I created this disease in my mind. Spondylosis, as opposed to spondylosis. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, there's a neural plexus on both sides of your backbone, and it's where both sides of your nerves, your sciatica and other nerves, go down into your body of your leg. Well, if you have a sprained neural plexus, that's what I have. It's a sprained neural plexus which can cause intermittent problems. I've managed to fix it with swimming. I have. Swimming is great. And liverwurst really helps build the amino acids in your back. Your back needs those muscles to help keep those bones and vertebrae going. I swear, shrimp, liverwurst, and swimming. That's the key. Not a lot of vibration. I mean, hand massage is good, but if you hit it with a super strong hot jacuzzi, it can affect it bad. You know, spondylosis. Okay, we have a request for a person by the name of Larry Sinclair. Yeah, and apparently a lot of you people have been listening to his concern about Barack Obama and having had oral sex with him in a limousine with crack cocaine. And many of you were not aware of that because you were led to believe that Obama was straight and not a Muslim, when in fact he's married to a woman who's a man. Yeah, I know. It's shocking. Many people don't realize this is something that, you know, happened. And if you were a Democrat and voted for him saying, oh, he's going to help us, oh yeah. No, he's a total New World Order liar.
Where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while, exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
Well, if you need that any more testimony than that, I mean, I'm sure Larry Sinclair would love to talk to you guys about it. Why don't you call him personally? I think he'd love to have a call from you. Maybe you could meet up and hang out in one of the local hotels in Mississippi. Yeah. Yeah. The limousine driver they were able to call him. He even posted his phone number for anyone to call the limousine driver to verify it. So Larry Sinclair was one of the bravest Americans we've ever had, as well as Joan Rivers, who lost her life and was killed by a man who slit her throat. And they didn't even perform an autopsy on her, by the way. Her daughter, Melissa Rivers, collected a large amount of money and doesn't talk about it because there's a signed agreement to not talk about it. But we did find out in the early stages of her investigation that they did not perform an autopsy on Joan Rivers, which is very suspicious in and of itself. I don't have a cross-dresser voice or token gay voice, no. I simply imitate people in general. Like if I were to do Tim Gunn, not do him, but okay, everybody, let's just get it ready to do something with the accessory rack. Let's just make it work. That would be Tim Gunn. Whereas Richard Simmons is, okay, everybody, let's get ready to rumble. That's a different type of voice. All right? Thank you. Tim Gunn is the Project Runway guy from a few years ago. I don't know what happened to him. He hasn't done any movies or anything. Yeah. We don't do him. Not in the proverbial sense. You need to get with the program. You don't watch enough TV, Hot Rails. You need to watch more TV. Yes. There is a secondary difference in my lips, and I say, and I speak, sound differently. No. Stormy Daniels, I don't think that's relevant. Hey, hell all day, how you doing? Good to see you. Alma's been fighting the true battle. Yeah. Looking for all these weirdos that are exchanging babies and body parts down in Southeast America. She's got quite a file on all these weirdos out there, and she's doing a lot of research. She lost her baby to abduction service. I don't think that's an important issue, Hot Rails, since you're the one that asked about it. Could you stop talking about gayness? Because it does seem like you're turning into a gay person. And I'd rather you not take your homosexual panic into our show. I'd appreciate that. You got something going on? Yeah, it's called degradation. It's called VPN. It's a necessary reality. The audio always gets there faster than the video. Yes. We're having some drop frame issues. Yes. It could, someone, I see that. We could be DDoSed at our VPN. Let me drop off Vaughn and then go back on. All right, no problem. Well, so far so good. If we run into problems, we'll truncate our show from 6 to 9 down to 6 to 8. Okay? Thank you. Try now. See if it's on air. No, but still dropping. Big time. I'm going to go find a new ingest server. If I find a new ingest server, I'll be able to get Vaughn back up and running. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, Vaughn has a tendency of doing this every time we have a problem. Yeah, there's no way of telling if they are DDoSing our signal. If they are, that's nothing I can control. Okay, I'm going to try to reset the server on Vaughn. Okay. We'll see if that works. Okay, I'm going through another ingest server. Go ahead and refresh. Okay, we're doing okay on one server. Let's take a look. We may be being DDoSed at our VPN. Hello. How may I help you, Mr. Spanheim? Hi. Better? Good. Good. Okay, what's happening is Mark is being attacked at one of his ingest servers. It's not you. What do you mean? You're not doing that to me? Okay, no problem. Well, if we do run into a big problem, we will truncate the show to 6 to 8, but right now we're doing very well, I think. We're moving into our second hour. It is good on my end. We are now being DDoSed at Vaughn. Michael Jackson did not die, Johnny. He is alive. There's more than enough evidence that suggests that he's alive. No, I'm not going to allow psycho behavior in again at Vaughn. No, he keeps promoting Andrew Yang. We can't have people like that. Okay, Tom, I will look at that video a little bit later. Thank you. Dave, can you pay me better than Mark can? I'd rather work for you. Yeah, I get this kind of stuff all the time. Dave, if you can pay me better than Mark can, I'd rather work for you. Now, Mark is paid to censor me, and that's illegal, and it's not a private network, it's a public network. So he has somehow believed by his attorney that he's a private network, when he's not publicly run network. Again, I would never have a website where you post his website compared to mine. This is a problem. If you don't understand what we've been through, Andrew Yang is a Democrat suck-up shill, okay? And you're comparing our website to his. Unbelievable. I'm not congested, no. There could be many people downloading videos right now. In the hotel I'm staying at, I could have like 4 or 5 guys, downloading porn right now. I don't know. Okay, we'll unban psycho behavior. All right, let me pull it up. But don't ever do that again. Thanks. There you go. I have every reason to believe that Andrew Yang is a complete shill. He stole the basic income idea and he doubled it. If that isn't a ploy, I don't know what is. That looks like a decent connection, We got 130 viewers at Vaughn. That's 130 million. Because for every million viewers, he just marks me as one. Let's take a look at this video that was almost banned, which I think is relevant. CNN pulled it from the show because this woman who's accusing Donald Trump of rape started to say that it was kind of sexy. I mean, it's like, I think that's really horrific. Let's see if she has any credibility at all. Let's take a look.
I'm not the victim.
You don't feel like a victim?
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished, which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt. It just,
But I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
Okay, she was merely stating that merely stating a pejorative view of other people. She wasn't saying it was sexy. So I think we have to clarify this. Realistically, she was just saying what other people think, and she's got a point. Absolutely. So taken out of context, it seems like she didn't know what she was saying. But no, I'm beginning to believe that this woman really did get raped, and she really does understand what's happening. So in no way did she come off as a person saying that. That's been taken out of context. Completely taken out of context. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That woman she claimed she was raped by Donald Trump in a Bergman-Dorf, whatever, a department store or something. Trump said he doesn't know her. And there's a picture of her with him. So, I mean, there's all these things that just make you think, is Donald lying again about adultery? Mark knows you're mobile. Please be safe. There's absolutely no way that they could trace me, even with city cameras, because I wear a mask while I drive. If somebody was tracking me through CCTV footage, no, she's not a sign of lying. I think you need to believe her. Women don't say that they were raped for fun. It's a horrible experience. And she was saying what other people think about rape, like it's something they glorify. Now you're saying I look like her? All right, let's take a look. Let's do a morphing of our face together. Now, I've been told I look more like Ellen DeGeneres, but that's just, you know, I'm not an Ashkenazi, so. Well, maybe I am an Ashkenazi. I don't even know. I'd have to do a DNA test. No. She has a much thinner nose, and she has flared nostrils, like right in here. I have deeper eyes than she does. She's an attractive woman. I mean, I don't think that's relevant here. Thank you. Okay, thanks for sharing that information. No, I have much better hair than she does. And why is it you're talking about hair? Mark claims to have access to NSA satellites. Well, you'd have a hard time finding me on any highway in America. Yes, so this is the big quote for Truth Tuesday. I know that I know nothing is a famous philosophical quote by great Greek philosopher Socrates. Plato, derived from his teacher and mentioned in his work called Republic. Socrates' words echoes in philosophical world. It does not attract people, those who are interested in philosophy, but all people who are eager to learn truth. Thank you, Hot Rails. And freak? No. I am not Joe Rogan? No. I'm not Joe Rogan, no. No, I'm not that guy. Some people say I look a lot like Jim Carrey. I'm not him either. Hiccups back? What happened? You got the hiccups? Well, we're dropping frames at Vaughn. No, we stopped dropping at Vaughn. We're holding. Good. I know you're on my side, but again, access to NSA satellites would not find me anywhere per se. Yeah. They don't have total control over everything. No. I'm not Alfred E. Newman either. That's a mythical character created by the Mad magazine. So you're saying I look like Alfred E. Newman, which is a derogatory thing, really, when you think about it. When in fact, Pete Buttgate looks like him, and I don't. Now, if it's a choice between myself and Pete Buttgate, Who looks more like him? He does. Yeah. And how does a homosexual man hide behind religiosity? Explain that to me. When he attacked Ted Cruz, claiming the man hired a prostitute, and well, referring to his wife as a prostitute, that's just, how can a man do that who's openly gay, and claiming that Ted Cruz wasn't Christian enough? That's ridiculous. None of our computers are accessible while we're driving because everything's shut down and the batteries are all taken out. David, can I PM you your location? You have no way of knowing my location. You can certainly try. I'm not homophobic. I just don't vote for people that are using religion to defend their homosexuality. I mean, come on, man. Who in the world gave him license to use religion to defend his gayness? Oh, the Democrats are so off to the left, there might as well be communists and all transgenders. Yeah, you guys who are Democrats need to become former Democrats and join America's third party. You won't have to look at the world through those rainbow-colored glasses again. David, they can send our frequency energy into the chip and pick it up via satellite. Okay, Tom, we'll put everything we have in foil. So we have to put all our phones in foil, according to Tom, because they can send RF signals to our RAM chips that can somehow store latent energy in capacitors that are built into the system and can then be traced. That's what the guy's saying. That's a little paranoid, don't you think, Tom? They're not entertaining. It's like watching a kabuki drama without good actors. Everyone knows kabuki has got to be done with the best actors. If you see a kabuki actor done poorly, it's like a Democrat. You watch the kabuki? Are you into the kabuki at all? No, I didn't think so. You're like Donald Trump. You want to turn your back on Japan and claim that we don't even have a treaty anymore. Isn't it ironic that Donald Trump is so angry that Iran wants to sell oil to Japan, who can't produce electricity with radiation-bearing nuclear systems because of Fukushima? And they're just trying to get a good deal on oil, but Donald doesn't want them to buy Iranian oil? Like he even has the right to interrupt that sale? And now he wants to turn his back on our allies in Japan. No. You people who are so hardcore Republican have lost track of reality. No wonder the world is falling apart because of you people. You have your mindset so far in the dark right area, the alt-right area, that you just see everyone as an enemy of the state. Thank you for voting for me. Yeah, saying that they can inject energy into your capacitor in your RAM chip when your battery's unplugged is a little paranoid, Tom. Yeah. Now, I didn't read the Vault 7 documents to find out if they've got the ability to track your cordless phone or your... Oh, I'm sinking. Now, if you're wondering what this blemish is in the shirt, I did some ballistic testing on this bulletproof sheath, and I said to Sarah, I'm not going to in any way get rid of this shirt just because I shot a bullet through it. So I stitched it up, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's a nice shirt. It's one of the nicest shirts. I like these shirts. The ballistics testing was necessary. I'm not going to Miami to do the Democratic debate is between 20 imbeciles talking about nothing. All they want to talk about is cap and trade and women's rights in a world where women are actually ignored. And not one single person in that Democratic debate will mention the Me Too generation, I guarantee it. I'm pro Me Too, you know that, right? I want an 800 number for all women to call up. I don't use PayPal. I want an 800 number for women to call up and report guys that are forcing them to engage in illicit sex just to keep their job. If it's a producer, I want them to report it. And if there's more than 2 or more, if there's 3 people that report the same guy, we'll send an agent out at the FBI to investigate. That's something no other candidate is offering. It's a joke. They won't even talk about GMOs or chemtrails or forced vaccinations. All the important things that matter to people. The Democrats are completely irrelevant. They've become irrelevant. It's a party of irrelevancy. And same with the Republicans. All they do is give tax breaks to the rich. Well, this is the thing. There is a new form of RFID chipping that it does, you're right, it's an enhanced RFID chipping system that can be picked up from satellites. It's true, Tom. You're not saying things that aren't true, but you're arguing that the computer chips in your computer could be turned into an elaborate high-definition RF signal and an RF chip, and that it can be tracked anywhere based on latent energy that somehow was sent in through an RF signal, through an internet connection. Well, if it is true, then yeah, we'll be getting some Reynolds wrap tonight and covering our computers. Thanks, Tom. I'll buzz down to Walmart and get Reynolds wrap.
If you can track me, text me right now.
Well, he can't, but he's saying Mark has access to NSA servers, and same with Lot Lizard, who work for the NSA, according to these people. You see, the argument is the government really wants to stop us. That's the argument. And I don't believe it. I can hardly believe a government want to stop the American people from saving their own country. Unless, of course, they were totally corrupt and run by the Rothschilds. Which could be true. Hey, we all know that the Nazis embedded themselves in our government. We do know that. Well, let's be clear. We know that Operation Paperclip was part of a big process by which the government, acquired Nazi intelligence, or lack thereof. And this was an ongoing process that happened during the 1946 era to like 60. In fact, many Nazis pretended to be Jewish and came over and joined synagogues in 1946. And one of the largest synagogues in the country is Chabad Leibovitch out of New York. It is the largest, actually. It reaches all the way to Russia. And that's precisely where Donald Trump met Russian oligarchs, at Chabad Leibovitch. You see, the Nazis that came over in America were Ashkenazis, and they purposely joined synagogues as a cover. What a perfect cover than to join a Jewish affiliated synagogue, even if you were a Nazi, right? Yeah. And they've even covered the definition of the word Nazi. It has no reference to the word Ashkenazi. But of course, that's what it is. It's a truncation of the word Ashkenazi. Any idiot linguist would tell you that. All right. Did you hear that clip from Donald Trump the other night saying, don't bother George Soros? Yeah. He protects George Soros because Donald Trump's good friends with George Soros. You didn't know that? Well, let's be clear. I'm Mr. Blue. Okay, we got a story, believe it or not, that came in the show tonight. Raise our taxes, please. Some wealthy Americans are asking to pay more. Okay. Abigail Disney, shown in 2015, the granddaughter of Walt Disney, co-founder of Roy Disney, is one of 18 wealthy Americans who signed a letter calling for higher taxes on the nation's most affluent. Exactly, and this is precisely why the Republicans have been so detrimental to our country. They have purposely given tax breaks to the rich to the total of $5.5 trillion over a 10-year period, which our country needs money. And here rich people like Miss Disney, Abigail Disney, are willing to pay it. Wow. But she's also collaborating with George Soros. Okay, well, thank you. Good to know. I'm just not into collaborating with known New World Order shills. I think we can safely say that that's a story we can put to rest right now. I will not take on Justin Bieber in a hand-to-hand combat for fear that the guy's gay. And he'll probably want to give me a reach around. Okay? Thank you. Now, I know Tom Cruise never even mentioned whether he'd fight him or not. But we know that, you know, Justin Bieber looks and acts gay. I don't know what a reach around is, but I hear it in the pejorative sense, and I assume it's somebody who's reaching around during a sex act. Is that what it means, Tom? I don't know. No, I'm not scared of a guy who looks and acts gay. 150 plus people got show into space in the latest launch. Great. I'm glad you took your show into space. You go, girl. Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm able to go do a show from a remote server with massive amounts of upload speed. Without that ability, I wouldn't even be able to pull this off. We started on Twitter, and we went to Periscope, and we couldn't broadcast there. We wanted to focus on iBlog and our recorded broadcast, which will be uploaded to YouTube tonight. Yeah. Well, how do you know my veneers aren't RFID chipped? How do you know that? I think you're overly sensitive to the idea that they're tracking us, Tom. No, Larry Sinclair is a proud American gay man, and there's no reason why you should discriminate against him. Johnny, I think your fantasy about Justin Bieber is becoming more evident in your chat dialogue. Well, I can't stop broadcasting because if I did, the people that are trying to stop me win. I would think that would be painfully obvious to what you're saying and doing. You're trying to get me to stop broadcasting. I see that. It's not going to work. David, if they're censoring you, why wouldn't they track you to make it easier for them to focus their efforts? Tom, these people have a very strange code of ethics. If you studied the Illuminati, as I have over the past 10 years, you would know that they actually have a code that they live by. They are not willing to commit gross acts of violence unless they have to. I lead on all the issues Alex follows on. Yes. I have never been with a man before. That's ridiculous. Where'd you get that, Hog Slammer? Do you really want to stay in the room? They're not likely to use extreme violence unless they have to. And they probably read my file, so they know they're a little bit unsure about me. According to 897, Mark makes him do gay things in order to get paid. So you have to perform gay things for Mark in order to get paid? I can't even imagine what your life is like you're working with a guy who's committing felonies left and right, and you think you're not in any way culpable? You're going to jail, buddy. You can't work for somebody to dox me and attack me and think you're going to get away with it. Well, frankly, Zog made videos. We've all been we know the Illuminati commits genocide. We know that. Okay, Zog? They're more than willing to kill people. We know that. Yeah. But not at this level. Right now, they're just more than willing to throw millions of dollars at stopping somebody on the internet. And they know that my name and the word that we've been expressing is out there, that they'd only make a martyr out of me. And that would be dangerous to them. They know that that's very dangerous if they were to make a martyr out of anybody. The last thing they want to do is make a martyr. Donald Trump doesn't have the honesty going for him that I have. That honesty factor is enough to make a martyr out of somebody like me. No, I'm not a tool. And you've been banned, Zog. Yeah. All I can tell you is you people who think you're going to come in and attack me on a nightly basis are wasting your time. Plus, they don't even know what to expect with me. If they had experts that could come into the field and attack me, they would have. Sarah and I have, we have a normal life. Yeah, Zog doesn't understand what's happening. He doesn't get it. He doesn't realize that this is a 10-year show that has surpassed all troll activity. And we are untrollable, and we've beaten 4chan, and I'm sure I've had 8chan people in here I've beaten. Yeah, so you guys are failing left and right miserably, and your money donors are getting a little pissed off. Yeah, you've pretty much done everything you could to stop me, and you haven't even gotten close. It's kind of pathetic, actually. I'm not bragging, I'm kind of complaining because, frankly, this has been an endless battle against censorship since I started. And I'm just an American trying to speak out in a country that claims to be free and democratic. And you people don't get the irony in that? You don't get the whole irony of me trying to just speak my mind in a country that claims to be free and democratic and getting slammed left and right? You don't get the irony of that? We've had a request for Sarah in the show, so when she's done with the movie she's watching, she can come in and talk to you guys. But there's no requirement. 10 minutes, she'll be in. Thank you, Saffron. I'm just glad we have a signal. No, we need a third party. We don't need a union. He makes millions. Yeah. You people have better understand that the only way we're going to stop these people is not through money, it's through word of mouth, talking about this third party. We now have a third party thanks to me and Sarah. So that's your beacon of hope, not some union. I don't know, what movie are you watching? It's a Hallmark movie. It's one of these, feel-good movies. You're only making hundreds? Mark makes millions, dude. Yeah, millions. He's got you people doxing and attacking me for hundreds? Wow. Who's the fool there? And you're the ones committing the crimes. Now, if you testify on behalf of what we're doing in court against Mark, we may give you leniency. Otherwise, you're going to jail too. I'm not going to sit back and watch somebody censor me and not face prosecution when I become president. I've not really followed G.G. Allen. Is he a rapper? Well, I may just go back into my underground bunker here if I have to, He was a punk rock musician, really? Cool. I don't know. I don't know who the guy is, so I really don't have any answers to what's going on. All right, well, we got 1 hour and 7 minutes left to talk, so your question is my answer. Just wondering, Dave, do you think you people make money rebroadcasting you and trolling you as they do it? Not saying I am, just wondering. I'm pretty sure that people are rebroadcasting me all over the internet and all over the UHF channels. And I look at it as, I realize that it may be making money too, but I have no way of knowing how much, nor can I regulate it or control it or even verify it. But because our show is so popular, I'm pretty sure people see the monetary value in that. Remember when, thank you, 897, I appreciate it. Well, I'll definitely give you leniency in that case. The fact is, our original show went viral when I did the blackface video, and it was a worldwide success. A guy made copies of it and put it on a Blu-ray disc and sold it to nightclubs and dance clubs all across the world. So now I'm a household word, and our third party is a household word in countries all around the world. Well, let's be clear. So when I did the blackface video, I wasn't being racist. I was simply imitating a black president who was a New World Order shill. And I have that right. Well, I'm not really a rock star. I'm a living legend. Yeah. I'm bigger than a rock star. And I'm not saying that in an egotistical way. According to Scissor Fight, G.G. Allen was a dirtbag, and Scissor Fight is a reigning expert on the era that you're describing. Captain and Tennille in the same word as a punk rocker is just like impossible. I heard Illinois legalized marijuana, recreational, yeah. And they showed states like, nearby states like Indiana, where to go. I like that. I think that Illinois is making a good move. Well, I respect Scissor Fight's view on music because he's an expert on music. He really is. You think that Mark is helping people get over the border? Really? I mean, this story about Mark is getting more and more interesting as time goes on. Well, so far we've had a very vibrant discussion tonight with all of you. Thank you very much. And as you know, viewers who want to get heard on our show. That's the nice part about our interactive show. We're paced properly, so it's not like, you know, he's helping people get over the border. That's just wild. Wow. Thank you. You're 57, born in 61. Wow, that would be impossible. If you were born in 1961, you must be 58. Tom, are you lying to me? I don't do that on the road. Yeah. I'm not into that. The captain did die, of Captain and Tennille. I wanted to get back to the truth about Michael Jackson being alive, though. So T. Rucker faked his death to get into trafficking human beings? See, that's just hard to believe, too. But I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I think Michael Jackson had to fake his death in order to evade any kind of charges of pedophilia. Even after the Santa Barbara case, where it was overturned, the charges were, he still had that lingering story about, wow. Scissor Fight just said that G.G. Allen threw his poop at the audience. Now that's messed up. So don't bring up this G.G. Allen in the show anymore, okay? Thanks. That's inappropriate. Even if it was part of the humanure movement. The maneuvement. Maneuvement. Maneuverment. Okay. Yeah, I just find that very disturbing. Karen Carpenter sang a duet with that poor Karen. No wonder she felt weird about guys. I feel bad for Karen Carpenter. We've only just begun to starve. White lace and... Oh. We're talking about anorexia nervosa. It's not to be made light of. Yeah, it's serious. When people are starving and... No, OJ is just simply capitalizing on his weird status right now. Wait a second. Robert Mueller is going to testify publicly before House Committee on July 17th. Wow. I thought he was never going to testify again. He thought he was above the law. That's weird. Okay, let's take a look at that story. Thank you. We've only just begun to starve. White lace and promises. A cracker here and some toothpick water there. We've only
Okay, I'll
just...
give you a break.
All right, let's take a look at this quick. Robert Mueller to testify publicly before... Yeah, so we're going to get some more information from him on why he was incomplete in his study. Yeah, he didn't really do an investigative work. It was kind of ridiculous. He didn't do enough. Sarah's here to give me a break. I'll be right back.
I want to take a time to say thank you so much, Robert Mueller, for testifying in front of Congress, because, of course, many of them might not have read the all of what you had to say, so this would be very good. Thank you so much. I know that he basically said that testifying won't necessarily do any more than his investigation already did. But I think that, like I said earlier, that he didn't, that Congress might not have read what he had to say. So there you go. Good job on that. All right. Oh, Tom, do I really want to watch it? Did David save this already?
I haven't saved it, no.
Some great commercial someone did for you.
Don't touch that. Yeah, I haven't looked at it. I'll look at it later.
David will look at it later. Yeah. Such as, Tom, why don't you elaborate on some of the things they're saying? What? Oh, it is in the movie. Oh, you decided to watch the Lifetime movie as well and enjoy it with me or something. Yeah, those are funny movies, but yeah, she became Mrs. Hart in the movie. Yeah, I know. I don't know if I like those movies necessarily, because it's always like changing the way like her life is in the direction she's going, but yeah, I don't know if David would like to be Mr. Hart. I think he loves being David. Yeah, David likes being David Sponheim. I like being Hart. Yeah. So I'm gonna just. That's one of the reasons I don't want to get married.
Be yourself. Yeah.
I don't want to lose my name.
Exactly.
All right.
We've only just begun.
I could ask him to marry me. That's true.
But the traditional, the traditions. I still think people get married to have children. I've always felt that way. No, I wouldn't mind getting married. It's not like I have an aversion to it. The shared name thing is kind of strange for the woman. But this bag is
Hot Rail says there are no benefits for a man to get married. Maybe there's not any. He says women expire too early. Well, Hot Rails is also a guy who thinks all women need to wash more. Yeah. Well, I don't plan on having children, so maybe so.
But
I think that there's other people that have had children, but like his sister.
But it's a personal thing,
His sister had a child, so. But of course, that she doesn't have the last name, so maybe. I mean, the genes continue, but that doesn't. So anyway, that's it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine for sure. Anyway, yeah, I'm sure there are other Swanheims in the world somewhere.
I just found out we're short on TP. I'm going to go get some TP down at the front desk.
Okay.
For some reason, they shorted us.
Sounds good. I think it's fine. All right. The song that was in the video. Yeah, are you talking to me? Blue? No. Somebody else named Blue? Okay. Oh, True Blue. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe you're right, Johnny. Maybe. Does, what? No, I don't know any username. Oh, yes, thank you. Who's taking care of my worms right now? I have volunteers that are going to be taking care of my worms over the summer. They just come in and add some water. I've actually fed them enough for the summer, so all they need to do is add some water to the worms, and yeah, that it's good. People are going to do that. Have you guys gotten out a lot during the day, or are you just slumming it? Are you talking to someone else? I've gotten out a lot during the day. That's what you think, 9100. That's pretty funny. Long enough to enjoy it when I come back, True Blue, but short enough, yeah, it's fine. I think it'll be a beautiful vacation. I look lovely in the silk top like this. Yeah, this is kind of a silky top. I like it. It's like golden color, and I told David, yeah, I want to wear that nice top today. Yeah, maybe True Blue, maybe behavior, something like that. It's enjoyable. Maybe True Blue. Did you want me to come see you? What would happen, Stormy Daniels? I guess I would have a long discussion. Whose leg? My leg? Oh, right, exactly. I know. He says that, but then it's just about not revealing information like where I am. So I just won't give away where I'm at. David called himself a living legend. I can imagine David saying that. Yep. Okay. Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, David is very awesome, especially at, he does a great job taking care of me. And he does a great job being a persistent show host. He's always on here broadcasting. He's really, he's very successful. He does a great job in his life. All right, I guess you guys have taught me to do a better job of cleaning. Well, David works a lot. he just doesn't get paid for it. He does a lot of maintenance on his house. He does a lot of like he cooks for me. That would cost a lot if I wanted to hire a full-time chef. And he does, and he takes care of the house. Like I already said, he takes care of that house. That would cost a huge amount for me. He does, yeah. Who's driving the Honda Insight? Well, we both each have a Honda Insight. I drive mine more when I'm commuting. You think real vacations are to the Orient and Hawaii? I don't have any interest in going to either of those places. Well, this is about as close as I will get to Hawaii. That's what I would say. A blue screen. There is blue in the background in the picture. What does that question mark represent to you, Stormy? If I could visit anywhere, where would I go? Exactly where I'm at right now. That's where I would visit. So I've already done that. Exactly all the places I'm going to visit this summer. That's where I would go. But you good, meaning it's okay to watch me? Is that what it is? I don't think so, Mike. I mean, I did reach out to him when I was down visiting in Disneyland and offered to get together, and that didn't occur then, so I don't want to push the issue. Yeah, well, maybe I would visit. Well, one thing I would love when David becomes president to spend time in Washington, D.C. visiting all the monuments. That's a place I'd like to visit. Dave owns, Full Beans owns a 33,000 square foot, 3-building church complex and 2 houses in Kentucky. David and I can stay there, but you get paid by Mark to not watch David. So why you want us to stay there? That's what David says about not staying with people, because then you don't know how real certain people are. Well, whatever. Some people are very private people. The earth is calling. My worms are calling. What? Yeah, I've heard that rumor, but I don't believe that rumor at all. Oh. But I don't understand, why would watching me be okay and not watching David would be an issue? Why would that be an issue? Sometimes, Johnny, and sometimes I don't do anything. Usually, actually, I do nothing, because usually I'm a person that does nothing. Did I ever do any hand modeling? No, look at my hands. My hands, look at like my nail. I got this nail, like I slammed, was it this nail? No, this nail. I slammed this nail in a car door. And it grew weird ever since then. It's not fungus, it's just because I slammed it in the car door when I was like 8. So no, I don't think I have the hands for hand modeling. What do you think? Hand model? And I used to bite my nails, so I don't anymore. You like my hands? Okay. I think my hands are like my teeth. Not perfect, but human. There are some serious people in here, like Saffron. Sarah, realize most of these people are all playing in here. Yes, I do realize that. And I try to help David realize that, but no. No, you will not be getting a cooking show this Thursday, not that I'm aware of. Oh, the people playing Mark, they're playing. Okay. Can the cooking show be a food review from a restaurant or something? Yes, I didn't get any pictures of a certain restaurant, but I can give a food review of a restaurant. I didn't take any pictures, but I'll tell you each week, maybe I'll tell you of a restaurant I ate at that week. That is a pretty good idea. Ticken, what gives? Ticken, did I miss your answer? Well, somebody asked for it, so that's good. Bunch of deviants. I'm not too much. BC Von Live trolls is trying to stir stuff up. I know, I'm sorry, Scissor Fight. I like being private. David, what? No, he didn't. Stormy Daniels, you would just like to imagine that because, I mean, who wouldn't like to imagine that? David is very gorgeous. After all, I know. I don't get the Burberry thing either, but whatever. Well, I'm just playing too, Saffron. Oh no, I'm not going to do that, Dove. Full beans. Thanks. I'm lucky to have David too. I think he's like a hunk. He looks like a model, and he's a hunk. You don't know a lot of women like guys with a 40-inch waist? Wait, what? Sarah, remember to get, wait. Seriously, Tom, I'm not worried about it. Maybe David will be, but I'm not, and I already have some foil, but it's not to wrap my computer in, but I'm capable of wrapping my computer in it. I just use it, it's like Mylar, and I use it because on my lap board, because David's like worried about me using a computer when I use on my lap. And my friend did like use a computer, and when she was getting her master's degree, she'd say, I'd snuggle up with my laptop at night, and then she ended up getting ovarian cancer and died. But so I do have Mylar that I use on my lap board.
Okay, we'll do that then, if that's what they're saying.
Well, you can do that. I'm not worried about it. Okay,
I'm not really worried about it either, but I mean, it is kind of interesting to think that they could send a signal to our computer that has a latent RFID chip in it. They could be read from a satellite. I find that interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
In theory.
Yeah, I'm sure that does happen. I mean, at least that's what they show on the NSA shows.
Yeah. Okay, they serve till 9:30 tomorrow.
That's true, Ticken. Very true.
It's So 6 to 9:30 is when it's available.
All right. That sounds great.
Great. Okay, I'll take over. For 40 minutes, so you can go to bed. That's cool.
Okay.
All right. I got the TP.
Okay.
And they serve breakfast from 6 o'clock to 9:30, like almost every hotel in America, which is great. So I'm hoping this communication is giving you guys what you want, because obviously I am doing my best to deliver a show under all circumstances, and we haven't been able to pull this off for a long time. We've tried many times to do a show from the road, and it's one of the reasons why we didn't take a vacation for 7 years. Dave, we have 5 mansions and 3 church buildings you can relocate to Kentucky Mountains and do the show. That's very nice of you. But I really would rather not stay with a group of Mormons. No offense, but you know, Howard Hughes did that, and look what happened to him. Yeah, I know the cup is a big issue. Yeah, we have. You know how many hotels with this cup there are in the country? Yeah, 5,000. I know. Isn't my hair beautiful? For a guy my age to have hair this beautiful, it's unusual. Yeah, I'm 59. Well, there's no poker game in the cup, but it could be anywhere in the country if you know where this cup came from. Well, we're fighting a fight that is hidden. You wouldn't know that there's censorship in America if you listen to the media. Well, Rodney, my secret is to not take life too seriously. Yeah. And I also use fruit enzyme spray hourly. You don't have to worry about it. There's 5,000 of those hotels in the country, hot rails. You don't have some secret on me. No, I don't have only 100 viewers. I have hundreds of millions of viewers. We are rebroadcast on multiple UHF networks, and the viewer count at Mark's is completely fictitious. He set it up for every 1 million viewers, we have 1 view. I'm just using these cups to kind of lead you in the wrong direction. It's part of the technique I've been using. You wouldn't know that I'm staying at the Hyatt. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Well, I do the show for the same reason you watch the show. I like the show. And we have a very stupid president who doesn't know what he's doing and could lead us to World War III. So, yeah. This is a man who can't even spell, okay? He is a veritable moron. That's hilarious. Yeah, so don't worry about it. No, I don't do Dave because, frankly, the movie Dave is about a guy running for president, so I'm David. No, the video is Photoshopped, but it looks pretty apropos, don't you think, considering he can't spell? If I were you, I'd get some quality rest. digest, and if you feel like doing anything like that between 11 and 12, we could.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Okay, but I'm sorry you have to put your eye patches on. Do you have those?
I thought I did, but I think I don't. Let me check.
We're making new campaign videos. There's a new video out there, but that's not ours. We're open to whatever you guys are doing to promote us, but I don't have any knowledge about it legally. There's always missing frames when we're running through a VPN. Well, right now, our show has approximately 130 views. That means we have 130 million people tapping into the Vaughn network that are trying to get in here and chat, that they can't get in. Mark bans 350 million VPNs. That means we have 125 million viewers. It's a 1 to 1 million ratio he set up. We actually found that to be accurate. Yes, I'm heavily censored on Twitch, and we are not broadcasting tonight on Twitch because of our limited bandwidth. Not due to our upload, strictly due to our VPN being DDoSed. Our upload is solid. No, people don't know me in America. I've only reached about 1 million people out of 330 million people. So 1 out of 330 people might see me. Yes, we have 125 million viewers right now. That's correct. I found this anomaly to be accurate because of studies that were done a few years ago when Mark hid all the views. This is when he started getting money to censor us. He changed the view counter. We started seeing numbers like the number that you're seeing, 125, was really like 98,000, 125,000. In fact, I'd be willing to say it's 1 to 100,000 views as a compromise, but it's definitely not 125 viewers. I don't own Vaughn. I don't make any money doing this. Mark is the guy that's profiting from censoring me, which is illegal. I don't own Burberry stock. No, I'm not an investor. I think we're all gathered here for a reason. We're concerned about our president and what he's doing. So let's not kid ourselves. There's a lot of people who think he's the greatest guy in the world, and they don't understand that he's taken a lot of my ideas and borrowed them. Yeah, we're looking for a little clock. We'll find that too later. I'm sure it's somewhere. I don't recall what happened to it. No, I'm not part of VIP. That was given to me. That's another technique Mark is using to prevent us from actually being seen as average people. He uses that. Somebody bought me a permanent VIP streamer account here. I never ordered it. You pay VIP, you do not watch them. No, Mark can't really keep us on, get rid of us, because if he did, he'd be violating a number of significant laws if he got us out of here. I don't know how many views I have in China, because a lot of those are watching through VPNs, and we really don't know how many people are being blocked too. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah, so, Gesundheit. I am the best thing to ever happen at Vaughn, and I tell you, our show has been viral ever since they started shutting us down. UHF numbers are how are UHF numbers? Good. Their numbers are good. We're in a dark place. Children return to troubled Texas border facility. Let's talk about the immigration crisis for a moment, shall we? We've got some time. Now, Donald Trump claims that there's no problem, everything's great, but we have very strong views from various people. One volunteer tweeted to her friend last week that these people are being held in cages and being treated like animals, like dogs. Thank you. We found it. That's great. Okay, so children are returned to the troubled Texas border facility because Donald Trump is mismanaging the crisis at the border, something terrible. And his reigning moron assistant, Stephen Miller, who is the weirdest person I've ever seen working under a president, next to John Yoo. Stephen Miller is the architect of the zero tolerance plan. Tents outside the border station in Clint, Texas, more than 100 children were returned to the facility. They just don't have a place for these kids. At the squat, sand-colored concrete border station in Texas that has become the center of debate over Trump's immigration policies, a chaotic shuffle of migrant children continued on Tuesday as more than 100 were moved back into a facility that days earlier had been emptied in the midst of criticism that young detainees were hungry, crying, and unwashed. We've got serious human rights abuses going on in our facilities, just like Hitler had with the Jews in concentration camps. Now, I would think some of you Republicans have some sort of a heart. I'm not sure how much of it, because based on what I've seen so far, you're not doing much to stop Trump by giving him assurances you'd elect him again. I'm not saying anything to confuse you. I'm telling you, Steve Miller has zero tolerance. The Steve Miller Band plays zero tolerance. No, I don't, Stormy. Yeah. Stephen Miller looks like a guy who absolutely could care less about human rights. Abracadabra to you. You know, I'm not a hoaxer. I believe that's a lie concocted by the CIA to discredit people who are truly anti-Zionist. I believe the Holocaust really did happen, and Israel has every right to exist at this point. But bear in mind, even Adolf Hitler was a Zionist, just like Biden and Trump. And the whole concept of Israel was created way before World War II. The Balfour Declaration was established by the Rothschild family. The very same people I showed you earlier may have had something to do with the crash of the MH370, based on that simple fact. We don't know. It's an allegation we cannot ignore. But I can tell you that this effort has been nonstop to reveal the underbelly of this elite group of people that are buying up our government officials through the two parties. And if you're serious about an alternative government for the future of America, you have to get behind a third party, especially one in the middle of the political spectrum. Any other choice would be a complete nonsensical choice. I'm not coming from the far left or the far right. I'm coming from the center, where we can unite. Now, the idea of dividing the country is something the Rothschilds love to exploit. And they'll pay for both sides, the Democrats, Republicans, to win, just so they can hate each other. That's how I keep our country down. They keep our country down by dividing us. So Logitech finally came up with new software. I was very impressed. It took them 15 years, but they finally have new software when I loaded the camera. It's great. No, inheriting it is an option, and not all patents have 20-year limits. They can be extended indefinitely. And rich people can extend patents for a century if they want. There's no reason to think that patents can't be reissued and constantly maintained. It's expensive, but it's well worth it. Led Blimplin, as opposed to Led Zeppelin. That's pretty funny. Well, bear in mind, because the show is a nonstop effort to stop the elitists from controlling our country and turning our nation into the police force for the rest of the world, which has already been going on for some time, we're at a very good point in our history where we can actually stand up to these people using the power of the vote and the power of word of mouth. They can't control either. They can rig the Diebold voting system. We can catch them at it too. So in lieu of that, we have an obligation to keep doing what we do, even though it's almost nearly impossible. And some people say, Dave, when are you going to end this clown show? It's not a clown show. Those are the people that are paid to stop me. That's the kind of thing they say. And we have to keep listening to that crap every night, knowing full well that we're enormously well-liked around the world. And in essence, what we do will inevitably unite the country and show the world that America has a new face, one that's kinder and gentler, not one that's going to go kick ass and drop UAVs on innocent people. So I think you have to understand the whole purpose of this is actually a worldwide effort. We're all coming together to stop the Illuminati from their evil plan. Now, could we stop these people? No, of course not. But we can pull the rug out from under them and show them that America is our own nation. We aren't controlled by these powerful elitists. I'm the anti-war person. There is no anti-war New World Order. They exploit war. The New World Order wants to test weapons. Russia versus the US. They want to see who has the best weapons. So it's entirely possible for the New World Order to own both Russia and the US and then have them go at it with a conventional war. And men will die. Good. Well, I'm glad we're kind of pushing the limit on talk, because 6 to 9 is what I was planning on. And if you feel that I'm, getting a little too tired, talking, just send me down to my bunker underground. I'm back. Yesterday, Kiefer, we had a very low quality broadcast, 12 frames per second. And if you want to catch it, at least a short version of it, we have, right, tonight we're doing a 6 to 9 broadcast and we're stopping our show. I'll tell you in a second, Dove. I can tell you who is implicated in the 9/11 attack, sure. If you want to go see our show from last night, I'm posting all our shows, by the way, for all of you, because we're on vacation. I'll be posting all our new shows at my website on YouTube. And this is it, David John Sponheim. You'll see tonight's show there too. So don't go to America's Third Party for our most recent show. Go here. All right? We'll update the site in a bit until I'm ready to start uploading to ATP again. I have to do some configuration issues, but I will upload our show tonight to that location as well. So your name is David, Johnny? Okay, I hope you manage your life better. That's good. Yeah, so the immigration problem has been a huge issue at the border, and as you know, 4,500 kids are missing. They're completely lost. The system just dropped them. They don't know what's going on. David, they're closing my local 24 Walmart to do some upgrades, turning it into a FEMA mart. That's right. Department of Homeland Security has been working with Walmart to create facilities like that. That's where Casa Padre came from. Casa Padre is an upgraded facility, a Walmart facility that is used to warehouse 1,200 kids right now in near the border. Terrible. We'll be on vacation for 60 days, 2 months, and we'll be broadcasting at various times from various locations. But we're shooting for a 6 to 9 schedule. I may have to do an abbreviated schedule due to limitations. You want to write me some rap lyrics, Stormy, and get them to my email address? That's pretty intense. You know, in our area, they're closing box stores and turning them into plastic bag stores. No, they're closing box stores and turning them into polished concrete floor kind of FEMA camp kind of setups. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. So what they're doing is they're pulling up all the tiles that could very well be weaponized. You know, tiles are dangerous, as you know. So they're taking all our box stores and taking all the concrete, which is ugly, and polishing it. And everywhere we go now, in our area, we're looking at concrete floors, just like they would have at a prison. I'm not advertising VPNs. That's a Mark thing. I don't handle whatever's on the page that Mark's doing. Yeah, that's not something I would in any way endorse. Yeah, I'm not here to endorse anybody buying anything, actually. I'm not promoting anything. Okay. Well, at least we got our show under our belt. You know, that's pretty cool. That we can talk about stuff interactively, which is what we do every day, which is making our show, you know, still cutting edge, in my opinion. There's not a lot of shows that offer really good links sharing, and I know link sharing is taking a back seat tonight because of, you know, the obvious limitations on how many things I can do on a small 17-inch screen. But we can still bring links in, and we'll be doing that as well off this laptop. But it's a huge improvement over the last night's debacle, and I agree. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, thank you. Upscale stores have actual flooring. You'd think all our upscale stores in our area are actually downscale, and they're turning into FEMA camps. And even Sarah and I were like commenting how weird it was to shop at these things. We feel like America's becoming a third world nation while we are, you know, sitting around thinking Trump is making everything great. And you see all these Trump tards walking around and they don't even know what's going on. I saw a guy today walking around with a shirt saying Trump 2020, keep America great. That's my credo. I'm the guy who came up with keep America great. I did it in 2015. That was my concept. You remember when I did it too, Scissor Fight, you were there. I was the one that came up with Keep America Great, so of course Donald Trump is stealing that too. Yeah, really, keep America in the dark is what they're really saying. Yep. So I came up with these ideas, he steals them, and the media doesn't report this, and he gets away with it. Now the mainstream media, as you know, is working with a group of very, very powerful elitists. There's 5 people that run our entire media. Rupert Murdoch is one of them. And they've got the power to limit anyone's access, especially mine. There is a standing order not to show or talk about anything we do in the mainstream media. Anybody who brings it up loses their job. Look what happened to the people that interviewed me on my front lawn. Both of them were fired. And to this day, they badmouth me in the background. Well, lay it out and give me the song that you want to use to, you know, kind of give a backbeat to it, and I'll try to. I can't copy Enya, but I can certainly get a backbeat that's similar. You know, I can't copy them though. Well, let's be clear. Donald Trump can barely read the teleprompter. What about my front lawn? I don't advertise where I live, no. I used to when I ran a local election, but I wouldn't do that. It's not important right now. You know, I'm more than willing to just continue doing the show and having this daily commentary despite all odds, because I enjoy the interaction with chat. I'm one of the first chatters that ever existed. I started chatting in 1985. So, I mean, I was very active, especially when I met Sarah 20 years ago. King, I'm not, no, I have no signs or symptoms of any mental problems. You've been banned. Believe me, I have been thoroughly tested for the past 10 years. And I've shown you not only my ability to maintain composure, but my ability to fight for what's right with passion. And you've never seen anyone with more stamina and composure than I've had over the past 10 years of broadcasting, 10 and a half years. I used IRC, I used PIRC, Perch, and other networks. It was great. But those were the days when you didn't really wonder if somebody was going to upload a malware to your computer. It was a kind of an innocent era. I started chatting in '85 and got the early days of the bulletin boards, and it was fun. But I didn't do it actively, But it was fun. But we didn't really have the interplay that we have now. Chat was really, really better in 1998. When Sarah and I met, it was the best. And part of it was the fact that you could actually roll out different scripting and different avatars. Now, I noticed you guys don't have avatars at either channel that we're doing our show. If you had avatars, you have more of a personal identity. We don't have that here. And in the old days, with avatars, there was all kinds of fun stuff and more interactive video and audio. Now we tried a couple of networks recently where you can send audio files through them, and Y99 didn't succeed because somebody got to Y99 and shut it down. We're not sure who, but we've been able to constantly look for new networks, and of course we're going to be reviving our Twitch show when we get back. We may try it here and there, but we're not getting a lot of good results from Twitch simply because we're being censored again on Twitch. I met her in 1998. Yeah, colored text and foreground, background, color be colored in IRC. Chat could be so much more flexible than it is today. Thank you, Zelfire. Appreciate it. We will. We're enjoying it already. I've had the best time in the past few days. It's been great. Johnny, I'm not giving you a blow-by-blow description of my relationship, so. But thank you. I don't think so. I think there really is an effort to censor chat sites. And more recently, there's been a tremendous shadow banning attempt by Twitter on Periscope. What you're not talking about or even aware of is that these companies have been shadow banning people and making it completely impossible for us to interact and chat. We expected the rich internet to get better and better, but it got worse and worse in the past 10 years. Remember when Stickcam offered 6 different channels to talk to people? They got rid of Stickcam fast. They didn't like that. Remember when StreamUp was something other than some music site? It was really cool. StreamUp had a really good goal of getting really high quality co-broadcasting together, co-hosting together. Remember when Mark said he was going to do co-hosting, he never did. iVlog does co-hosting on their pro accounts. We've experimented with that. That's pretty successful. But again, iVlog won't be able to operate in a couple years because Flash is going to be completely retired. They're getting rid of Flash, Adobe is. So, I'm serious. So iVlog is running on a platform that will be antiquated in about 1.5 years. So they're systematically trying to get rid of all of these different venues for people to chat at. It's a concerted effort to censor and to create closed networks. Yeah. Eventually, they're going to charge for bandwidth and people to even hook up to chat. Eventually, you won't even be able to watch a show without paying. Now, part of our strength is our ability to broadcast freely and give you a free broadcasting experience as well, which is the whole essence of freedom, in my opinion. There's a reason why the word free is embedded in the word freedom, because everything that has freedom should be free. You shouldn't have to buy your freedom. A clam smell in your Ford Explorer, there's a couple things. A bag of wood pellets, open, that absorbs some smell and gives you that fresh wood smell. There's another thing called, well, I'm not going to give you the brand name, but there's a couple of sprays that you can buy that are natural, that you can get rid of smells like that. I believe that Charles Manson was insane. I do. I wouldn't use those products that are not tested, like chemical products. That would be bad for you. Cypress mulch would be good. Eucalyptus would be very good. Lavender. Lavender oil is a very strong scent. Some people hate it. We know. It's due to VPN broadcasting. Not many people broadcast through VPN, but I have to. I know you think Manson was an FBI agent, but more likely he was a nutcase and a killer. A man who openly admitted to a psychologist that he was responsible for the death of 7 people. Yeah, so anyone who's standing here defending Manson is out to lunch. Yeah, the people that admire Manson are, you notice they're not even in our room now. Misanthropy hasn't been back. He likes Manson. He thinks he was smart. I told him we don't have place here for cynical apathetics. We really don't. Two Republican senators are saying that the rape allegation against Trump should be investigated, while many GOPs are staying mum. Well, that's good to know. 2 Republican senators are actually looking into it. You know, if the Republicans want to save their party, they better get a little bit more aggressive and assertive in analyzing what's really happening with Trump. Because they're literally throwing all their eggs into the basket of a man who virtually has one thing on his mind, his own net worth and his own self-worth. He doesn't care about the country, he just cares about his bottom line. And Trump will take the entire Republican Party down with him.
In an interview published in the latest edition of New York Magazine, a woman claims that President Trump assaulted her 23 years ago at an upscale New York City department store. Late today, President Trump issued a blistering denial, saying, among other things, he had never met the woman and that she was lying to, quote, sell a new book. CNN's Jason Carroll joins us now. Jason, tell us what we know about these allegations and what exactly Ms. Carroll is accusing the president of, and what has he said about it?
Well, the president is issuing a very strong denial tonight against accusations. He forced himself on author and advice columnist E. Jean Carroll at a department store in Manhattan, more than 20 years ago. Carol raised the allegations in a just-published New York Magazine article. She tied the publication of to her new book, What Do We Need Men For? A Modest Proposal. In the article, Jim, she writes the following, and again, these are very serious allegations. The moment the dressing room door is closed, he lunges at me, pushes me against the wall, hitting my head quite badly, puts his mouth against my lips. She then continues, she says, I am shocked. I shoved him back and he started laughing. He seized both my arms and pushes me up against the wall a second time. And as I become aware of how large he is, he holds me against the wall with his shoulder and jams his hand under my coat dress and pulls down my tights. However, the president says, I've never met this person in my life, adding shame on those who make up false stories of assault to try to get publicity for themselves or sell a book or carry out some sort of political agenda. He continues, no pictures, no surveillance, no video, no reports, no sales attendants around. I would like to thank Bergdorf Goodman, again, that's the department store, for confirming they have no video footage of any such incident because he says it never happened. False act.
Okay, good to know. At least they're looking into it. We'll get more as we continue to see this story evolve. But again, not a lot of these stories have gained any mileage with the press. And it seems that the neutered press, an impotent press, and it's no longer free press, has become more of a tool for the elitists to mold public opinion their way. So we're not losing audio, we're here. All right. I think we know that you're not really a supporter, so we're going to get rid of you from the room. Thank you. Okay, one more story before we close down for the night. This is the last and final story coming up here. This late hour on this late fortnight. Let's take a look here. Project Veritas is coming up with some more information about Google, which is very damning. As you know, your right to freely speak out, even if you're an alt-right person, should be defended. We shouldn't have a pro-left media. And Project Veritas found a new Google document leaked describing Shapiro, Prager as Nazis using the dog whistles. Veritas has obtained a newly leaked document from Google that appears to show a Google employee and member of Google Transparency and Ethics Group calling conservative and libertarian commentators, including Dennis Prager and Ben Shapiro, Nazis. Project Veritas received this document after the release of its investigation into Google through Be Brave campaign. So Google is trying to be the Nazi, in my opinion, stifling the rights of people on the right to simply speak out. And we know that Google is censoring people heavily on YouTube with no oversight or transparency and monitoring from any ombudsman group that can help support freedom of speech. So our country slipped into a very dark place. And in order to get it out of that dark place, you people are going to have to step it up. Keep talking about America's Third Party and tell people about the show. And obviously we're not doing this based on a monetary system where donations are key. We're doing this on the basis of word of mouth, which defies the evil elitists who use money to control the media. And I think you know and I know that our efforts are our last chance against these people who are closing in on a new cyber age where they can literally control everything you see, do, and watch you at the same time. And if we don't stop these people at the grassroots level, they will impose a totalitarian dictatorship over the human race. And it will lead to AI mastering the planet and controlling every one of us and destroying the humankind. If you're as concerned as I am, you need to speak up and tell people about this third party. And I appreciate your effort. Now don't forget, we've got a great place to watch our show. Hang on. We've got a great place to watch our show at coolrock.com. And you can always watch us during the show on iVlog at Cool Rock, and have fun playing music and doing art doodling and whatever else you like. Yeah, that's what we have, because I'm offering this as a way to just, access the site, enjoy the show, and, don't get bored by the internet. There's so many different things to see at Cool Rock. You can see a gateway to the entire internet at the top right of the screen. Go to our it's not my web oasis, it's somebody else has created the site. I just plugged it in, and it really offers an access to everything on the internet. Very cool. And there's a VR section down below, the Mr. Dupe section at Cool Rock, that is really, really amazing. There's so many different things. A couple people have been experimenting with VR on it and have come up with some pretty cool things. They even have a chat on that system. I haven't explored it yet, but I'm thinking of it. All right. This is me signing off. Thank you for coming in, everybody. It's been great. I'm glad we had a chance to broadcast live from a remote location through a VPN. The signal's a little bit weird and off with the audio, but at least I can do this, and it gives me the ability to keep this show going against all odds. Great viewers tonight on all ends. Thank you guys for coming in. Well, at least we give you 3 hours. That's pretty dang good. And you guys can always watch our playlists at YouTube if you want to watch movies. There's a great playlist out, new 1906 is our current one. All right, take care. Good night. That was loud. See you later.
You're listening to virtual interactive chat like you've never heard before. We are discussing issues from both sides of the political spectrum every night. Join us as we take on the two-party system.